This video is probably going to be the most complicated out of all of them, simply because one, I'm going to be showing you a lot of stuff, but two, it might seem like I'm rambling quite a bit, as I will be, moving file to file, and I might even be moving race to race just to show you some specific things. But this is going to be the video of how to edit files. What I mean by files is these listings. So I'm just going to kind of begin and just try your best to follow along. 5K results, you want to right click, edit file. Well, actually, let me first kind of, show you what all you can do with it. You can double click it, and that's going to print it as a PDF. So you can make it anything that you want it to be, but that's just going to make it into a PDF. So I mean this is what we print off when we hang up results at a race. So there's that. You can put it online. This is going to put it online, which we can do, but it's not something that we commonly do. You can rename it 5K results. As you can see, it's going to update it in the listings. You can delete it. I wouldn't recommend that. You can change the color of it. So instead of teal, if you want it to be blue, it's going to pop up as blue. And then what priority means is just that it's on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is going to be the files up top, 5 is going to be the ones at the bottom. So I mean, we always almost try to put the results and the awards up at the top just because it's the files that we use the most. But anyway, right click any of these files, and you want to just hit edit file, and in these files you will see all kinds of stuff. Let's begin with race name. Race name, you can highlight it. You can hit right click and then edit. So race name is going to be the specific code that is in this INI file. So as you can see, long race name over here is going to match up with this long race name, the Hot Diggity Dog. Sub race name is going to match up with the sub race name, which is Thanksgiving Day 5K. Then if you have sub race name, you can have the date, which is going to match up with November 26, 2015. The location is going to match up with St. Albans, and then weather is going to, match up with weather. So that's one file that can always be changed. Field list is pretty much what's going to be under each listing. Is almost always going to be the same, so you usually do not have to change it. You have first name, last name, sex, and age. Proper just means it's going to capitalize it, and the field length is just how many characters it will allow. And then under this specific results, as you can see, it's going to show the rank, split, net time, gun time, and pace. So, one second. So, when you go to edit the file, you will kind of see that in the code. As you can see, event split, which is the actual event right here. This is the split event that is taken into account, and it's going to minus the event, which is this. The field header is what shows up right here. So I can make that anything. I could make it say halfway. I can make it say 1.55K. I just put split in this case, and time format is just the way that you want the time to show up. This little place thing is going to be the ranking. So let's say if I was to remove that and hit save, as you can see, the ranking went away. So then back over here, if I do not want the split to show up, I can simply delete that. and it is going to, you know, take away the split. And then we have finish, the finish event minus the start event, which is the time of day that they, you know, hit the timing mats. That's going to be that participant's net time, which is why it's called net time. The next column that we have on that listing is their gun time, which is just their finish time of day minus the actual gun time that that the race began. So everyone's starting point is going to be the same, and then the pace is just going to be based on the race distance. If you do not know the exact race distance, you can always just put in 5K. It could be anything, 10K. It could even just be 3.1 m, which is going to be 3.1 miles. Totally, it's all the same basically. So you can also do things such as add fields. So you can have field city, you can have field state. So then what that is going to do is going to add the participant city and state. If you ever messed up typing, let's say you just put SIY and you hit X and you go to, you know, output, it's going to say it can't find the field because obviously that field does not exist. So it's going to tell you, you know, what needs looked at, and then you can go back in and edit. So that's pretty much the main things with this specific filing. Under the awards listing, I've already kind of showed you like how to, you know, edit how many goes to overall and how many goes to each age group and how to change that specific age group. You can highlight these files. You can highlight that. And what this is basically just going to show you is that field list that I just talked about, which has name, sex, and age, and then the event list, which is just what the awards list is based off of. By guidelines, the awards, unless if it is told to us by race directors, has to be based off of gun time. That is why this event list is at this location, because it is based on gun time. So that is why all of these says gun time under it. And the same thing can be said under the awards. So if I wanted to include things such as field city, field state, I would just have to add those into that specific file, and then it's going to pop up city, state, gun time, pace. So pretty much, I mean, that's all there is to that one. There is some advanced stuff that you can do. For instance, if it's a 5K, 10K, I will kind of get to that one here in a few minutes, as well as if they have walking divisions. But that's few and far between, and I'll mostly do all that coding for you guys. On the announce screen, you really don't have to touch any of this. You can look at the coding all you want to, but again, you will see the race name and all that. So same thing, just double click it, type in a bib, and it's going to pop it up so you can announce it. This assigned start listing on some races is pretty much telling the computer to assign the gun time, which is this time of day, to the event start. So this is going to assign that time to those who did not pick up. So in this case, it looks like we have about 25 people, 26, 27, 20, 28 people that did not pick up. Either they did not pick up when they hit the mat, or they did not show up on race day. So it's going to give them a time automatically. So I mean, but that's all that file is telling you. Alpha, like I said, is just the alphabetical list. You can go through here, and you know, if it right now it says 2 columns. So let me show you what that looks like. 2 columns. As you can see, here's one. Here's a second one. You can make it 1 column. You can make it only have 50 in a page, 50 names per page. So it'll just knock it down to one column. But that's all that is. Entries is almost the exact same thing. This export file is the one that you double click to get the times online. What this file has is a division, so it's going to have similarly to the awards listing, the ages, so that it knows which division each participant belongs to, so it's going to update those. And then this E2D, it's called event to database, so it's pretty much, I'll show it to you. It's pretty much telling it that this event time belongs to the gun time database and the chip time database, and in this race, the split database. So as you can see, it says put time into database field time, which is just telling it that it is a timed based field. So it's going to say split minus start, and then it tells it which database field it goes to: split, chip time, and gun time. Then it also has things such as place, pace, sex place, sex total, division, and all that. And then the export file pretty much tells it which fields you want it to be included in the Excel sheet, and it also it tells you what place the file is going to be put into. So in this case, it's going to users, the name of the computer, which is my name, and the desktop, and this is the name of it. So when you double click it and it plays, you can go onto your desktop. There it is. You can click on it, and as you can see, it has everything that you want to be included, such as first name, age, sex, the split time, the net time, the gun time, the pace, the division, things like that. So now let me go ahead and find a 5K, 10K I just had. And in the case of a 5K, 10K, it does take some additional coding, because you don't only have just one set of awards, you have two. So you need to go onto this file, entries.ini, which is miscellaneous entries.ini, and on this you need to list out both sets of age groups twice. So in this case, it's going to be female 1 to 10, and then with 5K after it, so it knows that it's a 5K, and then male 1 to 10, so on and so forth. And then you pretty much just copy and paste this whole bunch of data, and then instead of 5K, you just put it as 10K. So then under the results and listings on an example like this, it would say something like 5K run, and then you would need, everything else would pretty much be the same. The pace would need to say 5K and all that, but you need to have something that lets the computer know which event needs to be signaled out. So you need to have something like select event equals 5K. Same thing with 10K, so when you go to the 10K results, it would need to say something like select event equals 10K. Same thing in all of these, and also same thing with the export files. You would need to have it in the event to database file, select event equals 5K in the 5K, and same thing with the 10K, select event equals 10K. So pretty much everything else is the same through all this. This AP 10K, AP 5K, this is just something special that this race wanted me to do. The AP is formatted so that newspapers can easily, sync the results into their papers pretty easily. So as you can see, they can easily just copy and paste that into it. Same thing with 5K. Let me see. I have a percent file, and it is coded so that it shows how many people's in each event. So in this case, there's 31 people in the 10K, 47 in the 5K, and all that. Let me show you how to edit the design screen. So tools, edit, enter names, design screen. So if you ever wanted to mess with this, that's how you get to it. You can pretty much move anything you want to. So I can move the t-shirt over here. I can make this, you know, just highlight it, right click it, hit properties, and then I can make it say anything. It could be if I wanted to, you know, add a team. I don't think team's on this one. I could add new field, team, make the field length long enough so that it can fit these team names, and then just hit OK. And then, you know, we can now have a team file. Voila. Trying to think of anything else under the event. So if it is a 5K, 10K, you would need to make sure that only the allowed values would come into play. So 5K and 10K would need to be here. Otherwise, it's not going to let you type it in. And that, I mean, that's pretty much it on this screen. Most of this stuff you don't ever need to touch. I would do it for you. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit F10 just to save it and to rebuild it, just to show you that it does indeed make the changes. So team, and then I put that little spacing in the event label, but pretty much that's what it does. I think that is everything that's kind of advanced. There's many other things that I could show you, but I think at this point, if you do ever want to, you know, find out how to do something such as a cross-country meet, such as those multi-event events like 5K, 10K, half, full, such as a series. A series is pretty much, you know, my series, so it's going to add 3 events into one to get a total time. Just things like that. I mean, you could always, you know, send me an email and I could always, you know, get together with you and kind of walk you through one. You can also always at any point go to this help tab up at the top in contents, and this is pretty much the manual of how to use the site, and you can always, you know, just type in anything that you want to be able to find up. I don't know why I just typed in menu, but let's say you want to look up teams. So then it's going to, you can put anything that you want in this search file, and then just look up kind of what you're wanting to find. So like cross-country races, it's gonna, you know, walk you through a cross-country meet and the coding involved. We have a lot of this stuff built into them, so we don't have to, you know, begin from scratch. But you got that. Let's see if it has a series. It does have a race series file. So I mean, it kind of shows you how to do it, which is by using a sum command. But again, it's a little bit more advanced. But I'd be willing to show it to you if you ever wanted to. And I think that's pretty much all the advanced stuff I wanted to show you. I've got one other video in mind that I'm going to make, and that's just how to upload results onto aptiming.com, as well as upload photos. But like I said, if you ever have any questions that involve some of this advanced stuff, just let me know and I'll be more than willing to help you.